The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Sold out for weeks due to the difficult and extensive proprietary process behind its creation, the exclusive InfoWars Life Secret 12 formulation is now back in stock in the last limited shipment of 2014. The most bioactive form that has been created with our proprietary process. This ultra-clean vitamin B12 nutraceutical has been carefully crafted and developed over the last 2 years and is based on cellular science of how your body actively absorbs essential nutrients. Secret 12 is taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Vitamin B12 deficiency is linked to scores of serious problems. And Secret 12 is a fusion of 2 organic proprietary forms of vitamin B12, bringing you a true nutraceutical quality vitamin B12. Secret 12. Secret 12 is an excellent Christmas gift and is tailor-made to boost your New Year's resolutions. Supplies of Secret 12 are very limited. Secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with Super Male or Super Female Vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds. Is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
2015 is almost here, and with it comes those New Year's resolutions to finally transform your body the way you want it. There's a reason over 88% of New Year's resolutions fail. Make this year different by equipping yourself with Oxy Powder, the next level in cleansing the body naturally. Using super oxygenation, Oxy Powder, available through InfoWarsLife.com, gently cleanses the body while you sleep with easy capsules. Tens of thousands of individuals have used Oxy Powder to cleanse their bodies and aid in their transformations. Even InfoWars Nightly News Director Rob Dew has been using Oxy Powder with incredible success.
Took it that first day, then I took it for 6 more days after that. 12 pounds melted off in about a week. I'd say a week, 7 days.
2015 can be different. Diet and exercise are important, but a lot of us have already tried that. Oxy Powder flushes it out. Secure your Oxy Powder at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
The Food Babe, foodbabe.com. Bonnie Hari is our guest. The reason we've got her on is she's a blueprint for success. Just as InfoWars is a blueprint for success, or DrudgeReport.com is a blueprint for success for alternative outside-the-system ideas. Doesn't mean we all agree with each other on every issue. We're going to go back to her in a moment. I'm going to hit a few news stories that I mentioned first, but just think about it. We've gone from 20 years ago, you couldn't find organic food basically anywhere in this country that hadn't had deadly pesticides used on it or wasn't GMO to some extent. Now it is displacing all of the garbage. Heinz ketchup a couple years ago got rid of fructose corn syrup and went to sugar, non-GMO sugar. I know Coke and Pepsi have been talking about going back to sugar, which tastes great anyways. You ever had a Mexican Coke? It's like an old-fashioned Coke when you were a kid. I quit liking Cokes when they went to high fructose corn syrup. Fries your pancreas, a bunch of other stuff. The diet drinks, it's now mainstream news, mainstream studies, cause diabetes and cause you to get fat. They just fry your body. Aspartame. I could go on for hours about all the big victories, but everywhere you go, you see it, with the bisphenol A being taken out of the plastics, to on and on and on, mainly because women in this country got informed, and women listen to other women like the Food Babe. And her info is just mainline research, mainline studies, mainline common sense. Hey, shouldn't you be able to label something that it's GMO? And we're not talking about GMO where you cross two pumpkins. That's hybridization. That's how they confuse people. The old fake conservative line where they got conservatives in the last few decades to get on board for GMO is George Washington Carver crossed plants. Yeah, he crossed different types of corn or different types of soybeans to make an edible soybean. Crossing plants is natural. Sticking insect genes in them or fish genes in them or human genes in them or having corn grow HIV virus, look that up, pharmacological, and thousands of other glowing, I remember 15 years ago, BBC reported in Hong Kong you could buy glowing monkeys, glowing cats, and glowing puppies for like $1,000. Look it up. Type in glowing cats, glowing monkeys for sale. You can now buy them in the U.S., and I know people that know folks who have them. Rich people have glow-in-the-dark monkeys and cats in America that are part jellyfish. I'm not kidding. It's on screen. Just type glowing monkey in. Glowing mice. Glowing cats. Type in buy glowing pets. Buy glowing monkeys. Type glowing monkeys for sale. It's in Hong Kong. You may even get the 15-year-old article. The point is, we're in Buck Rogers land. This isn't George Washington Carver, who was a master at hybridization, which helped us and did a lot of great yields. They go, oh, people don't want to have rice that can grow in less water. You know, they're racist, or people don't want to. No, this could feed the world, but you don't want Bill Gates involved in it, and you certainly want it labeled. BT corn has about 1,000 times higher naturally occurring toxin in it than it naturally occurs. Yes, it's a natural toxin that keeps bugs from eating it because it tastes bad. It kills bugs that eat it. In the natural world, it doesn't. It just makes them sick and they don't like it. I remember talking to farmers 20 years ago who talked about their hogs wouldn't eat GMO corn. And if they got them to eat it, they would die. Now that's in the news, that it's linked to pigs dying and being infertile. Do you understand that when they can afford them, they don't use lab rats that we're closely associated with. They use pigs. Pigs are the most closely associated animal to Homo sapien sapien in drug testing. You can take a pig heart, folks, over a baboon heart. They work better. Pigs die when they eat it. Now, I'm ranting. I said I'd go to our guest. I'm going to shut up and give her the floor. Let me get into this headline. Half of children will be autistic by 2025, warns senior research scientist at MIT. Natural Health USA, Infowars.com. I mean, this is big, folks. I wish the Pope would come out against GMO, but oh, no. The Bible says don't mix the seed. The Pope won't talk about that, though. Air Asia's CEO dumped shares days before flight disappeared. Move prompts speculation Tony Fernandez had prior knowledge. Infowars.com. Asia Air's CEO dumped 944,800 shares in Tune Insurance Holdings, BHD, the organization that provides travel insurance for Asia Air passengers, just days before the disappearance of flight QZ8501. That's 3 flights connected to Malaysia disappearing this year. Something's going on. On December 26th, the Malaysian Insider reported that Fernandez, the founder of Tune Group SDN BHD, which owns Asia Air, had sold a total of 944,800 shares in Tune Insurance Holdings, with 850,000 shares being dumped on December 22nd and others, 94,800 being sold the day after. Very suspicious. Just like United American put options at about 4 times the previous record in the week leading up to it that was linked to Buzzy Krongard, executive director of the CIA. Source on that, AP Reuters, broke in the Bild German newspaper. And this article goes on to break down the 9/11 information, tying it into that, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com. Coming up after our guest leaves us, media companies and executives on the hot seat in 2015. And that ties into reality TV facing its own reality, a ratings slump. We're nearing the media singularity. I'll talk about it, a term I've coined, in the next hour. Right now, back to the Food Babe. Food Babe, thanks for holding there. I know we got your audio dialed up and tuned in now. So again, thank you for spending time with us in the twilight of 2014. I want you to get into more successes, but first off, what's big on the radar screen? We know the Empire's striking back. They're approving all these new GMO potatoes, you name it. What should we be most focused on right now, and what are you planning to target next?
Well, you know, Alex, I won't be able to tell you my target today, but I'll tell you exactly what we need to focus on as a nation is we need to focus on, number one, transparency. When a company won't give you the list of ingredients in their food, you should automatically know that you shouldn't be eating that food. And that goes for big companies. I'm talking companies like Starbucks, who before a blog post that I wrote in regards to the pumpkin spice latte went viral, before my investigation on them that came out in 2012, they were basically getting away with saying that they were a pretty healthy company, that they were removing high fructose corn syrup, they're removing artificial ingredients for their food, but for their main bread and butter, their drinks, the coffee drinks, the frappuccinos, the lattes, all of those things, they have never once put the ingredient list online for those items like their competitors do, like Dunkin' Donuts does. And so for this long, and up until this point where they finally committed to do this after, you know, huge wave of media attacked them for not being transparent, they've basically told the public, you know what, drink our coffee because it's the best, and we're not going to tell you what's in it. And that's a type of scenario that I say the American public should fight back. And they should also say, you know what? I'm not going to support companies that don't tell us what's in their food. The same goes for Papa John's. Papa John's is a huge, giant manufacturer of food, has one of the most popular pizza chains in the United States. Even their labeling on their marketing says better ingredients, better pizza. Well, how do we know if it's better ingredients if they don't label their ingredients that they're selling to the American public? If you look at Domino's, you look at Pizza Hut, you look at any of their competitors, they post their ingredients online for the American public to view and see and find out what they're eating. But Papa John's does not. So that's another company that's getting away with not being transparent that I think needs to change. An entire industry, for as long as they've been in existence, has gotten away with not putting the ingredients on the label. And what I'm talking about here is actually chapter number 7 in my book, The Food Babe Way. I'm actually giving out this chapter early. If you want to read it, if you pre-order the book and you send me your receipt at bonus@foodbabe.com, I'll send you this chapter so you can read it before New Year's Eve. But it's all about how the alcohol industry has gotten away with not putting the ingredients on beer, on liquor, and on wine. And I investigate these companies in this chapter, and I show you what's actually in the most popular beers now that we know some of the ingredients because of Anheuser-Busch's commitment to start listing them. But I start asking other brands, and then also the same brands of wine, you know, what is this GMO yeast that wine companies have developed to produce their wine cheaper and faster? You know, I expose those companies in this chapter, as well as the liquor companies that are adding artificial flavors, artificial coloring. And, you know, one thing is clear, you know, Alex, you know that alcohol is a class 1 carcinogen. It's not a healthy thing for your liver. You're not going to be a healthy person by drinking all the time. But the American public has the right to know what they're drinking. And also, as a healthy individual like myself or my husband or anybody else who tries to live as free from these additives as possible, we want to know what's in our alcohol. And one thing that really drives me crazy is that these scientists and other skeptics that are speaking out against this transparency want to continue having this information hidden from the public, but they also want us to make us feel stupid for asking. They're like, if alcohol is bad for you, why do you care that all these other